Okay, so the movies this week was Strange World with Gabrielle Union and Jake Gyllenhaal and a few other cast members I'm not quite familiar with as much, right? And anyway, so that was about an interesting movie. Turns out there's a secret at the end, right? But like a dog on the flea's back, right? Let's put it that way. Like I've been talking about. Any ecosystem that has life was produced by something that made it somehow, right? And somehow it's a complete ecosystem, kind of like a living organism, quite literally. Although let's put it this way, you have an ant farm, right? Right. Well, someone put the ants in the ant farm the same way we're on this planet, right? Now, we can't say where we came from directly, but sex is involved after we're made, right? At least, right? And we can make carbon copies of ourselves, men and women, from one to another, right? And some people just don't get it, right? And Jesus died to cover your stupidity too, but I don't know what that means for some of you, right? Because you're following the devil more than you're following love. I mean, love is unconditional. Love is kind. Love is patient, right? See, some people call patience with the forward slackness, right? Or slacking, right? But God ain't slack concerning its promises like men are, right? It's trying to be patient with you so you repent in time. If you don't, it'll have to let you die with Satan, right? As simple as that, right? If you don't want to understand it, well, it'll only try to tell you the same thing it's telling me, right? At the most, right? At the least, you believe what you think you're supposed to believe. Who can tell you you're wrong, right? If you ignore other facts, you're ignoring the other facts, right? You're just brainwashing yourself. That's all, right? So, yesterday I seen Devotion too, right? About the pilot in the Korean War, right? The surprise twist, they had a Liz Taylor lookalike in the movie, right? I can give away that little secret. That's not too big of a deal, right? But of course, right? Tells pretty much the story, a little bit about his family and how he got into the situations that led to his ultimate, reason for the movie. All right, the other movie out this weekend was called Bones and All, right? Well, basically, like I was talking about, people who eat people, right? Turns out, another coincidence, right? About this movie, is like kind of weird, but it involves this young female who may do something of that nature, right? And goes to this party or this late night sleepover, maybe, right? Things we do when we were kids, right? Ourselves, but something weird happens. And it gets real weird, right? And she has to leave suddenly, right? Because of what she did, basically. And then she turns 18 and gets kind of put, in a worse situation, right? And she goes on an adventure, let's say, trying to figure out what's going on with her, right? Basically. And she meets some interesting folks along the way, right? Maybe who are into eating bones and all. Not just, the outer course. Let's put it that way. Of a meal. Of a meal. So instead, now Taylor was a cute actress in the movie. That's the girl's name. I forgot the dude's name, right? And she's a little meat, so uh, and she's 18 in the movie, I think. She could be hopefully at least that age or older, right? I don't know, right? Kind of interesting well, she would say that on the film, But like I said, it's a discovery about her origin, right? Why she is the way she is, basically, and what to do next, right? And I saw them swimming in a lake or something, right? And not sure what I seen exactly, but and in the last scene has to involves them, her finding someone, right? And she's kind of semi-nude from behind. You can tell she's got nice body parts, right? Herself, though the way there's another way to eat someone that doesn't have to be physical that way. It's more about, licking but not biting, right? And then you're tasting someone but not actually devouring them, let's say. And of course, you exchange fruit differently between the male and female, right? You don't actually eat each other's fruit, you taste of it, right? Like Song of Solomon's 2:3 points out. She sat in his shadow and tasted his fruit, right? Huh. Yes. And it was sweet to her mouth, her palate, her taste, right? Whatever, right? Okay. So he's standing, right? It sounds like. And she's comparing him to an apple tree and wants to taste his fruit, right? That goes over your head, don't it, crazy Christians, right? Way over your head. You don't know what it means for her to sit in his shadow and want a taste of his fruit, right? You playing dumb. You playing dumb. You been playing dumb. You been dumbed down by Adam's fall, right? And won't repent of it, will you? Well, that makes Jesus have to die for your sin and cover them, not that you're confessing them, right? All our sins, actually. And I think some of you have a problem with that. Right? Really. You know the song, go bananas, go bananas. You lean to the left, you lean to the right. Eat your banana and take a bite. Well, okay. Chicken kill my banana. And it'll be ready for her. I don't know who. I'm just talking, right? Like I said, right? A lot of people have common names. Chloe, Lotto, Leto, Huo. Leto, Lotto. Well, Jared Leto, I think. Or maybe it's Lotto, I forgot. Someone has a Lotto in their name or a Leto. I've heard it before. Like I said about the name Michelle, right? Well, you can't shoot me like we had sex 3 times in a row and me resurrect before you get back to your office or wait 20 minutes or something, right? Because you know I'll resurrect once you leave the site, right? I'm not doing nothing wrong then, right? You're shooting me as if we had sex when we didn't have sex. That's called an accusation, by the way. Mm-hmm. So if you shoot me and we didn't have sex, we had sex. Why did we have sex? Because you accused the sex. Yeah, I ain't gotta have sex with her to get her pregnant. You know that, right? I don't. No. Some women have gotten pregnant somehow asexually and nobody knows how, right? One of them is the Virgin Mary, right? And even the mother of Noah. Mm-hmm. If you go to the Book of Enoch, had to deal with the dad of Noah, not sure if it was even his child, right? So they say. And if I have a child with any girl and we're mixed, me and her, right? Well, Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese, African, Caucasian, right? They're all from the same general location, right? The European and the Asian and Russian continents, right? And Africa, right? And India, right? Those are the 4 previously right, known continents. I know. And Australia, and Australians like Africans, oddly enough, right? Why do you think that is, right? Well, she stacked, that's fat, eat who duck back. Oh, she's so rich. Ah, right. See, my dad just that and all hang out, right? And you like the sight if you're a straight man, you don't mind looking. Right. I'll take a dip in that pool. I'll take a dip in that pool. So you think I have to have sex with her, right? When you done accuse me of the sex, you keep accusing me of the sex, right? And I keep asking you, well, what you do instead of the sex? Try to shoot me in cold blood? Because we didn't have sex? You blacked me out for some reason. Quit lying, you're gonna burn in hell. I don't know what the death of Satan's all about. Mm-hmm. If that punishes you somehow or not, right? But we're all warned that people are below the earth, which is kind of a fiery liquid core. Kind of a lake of fire type thing. Then you go in the earth itself, which is heaven and earth, right? And then there's people above the earth, right? According to John. But some people want to say, oh, if there's no heaven above or hell below, that means what? Right. You don't go there when you die, right? Not necessarily. Do you have to believe something's real for it to be real? Usually, no. Mm-hmm. Now, what will weigh down a spirit or a soul or someone's energy anyway? If energy cannot be destroyed, only change forms, right? Becoming more or lesser of what it was, right? If it leaves the body, it's an uncovered spirit, right? No longer in a form, right? And what must it do? Go up, down, or stay here, right? some spirits are still allowed to stay here. And can't move on for some reason, right? And are in limbo, actually. This will be limbo, halfway between heaven and hell, right? And some people are seeing the shadowy spirit, right? And they're coming to take you away, haha. They're coming to take you away, haha. When you die, haha. Well, then give her to me now and quit playing games, right? Like I said, either she really got pregnant or she didn't. If we didn't have sex, if we did, right? If we did, she would have. If you shot me like we did, we did. You can't shoot me if we didn't. Do you shoot people for not doing something wrong? No. No. Well, if you shot me like I did her anyway, we did it. You were convinced? We did, so we did. You don't get to shoot me in cold blood and there not be consequences of that action. You're the invisible man to me. I didn't even see you come down. Right? You're not even in my memory, right? At all that you had to come down. And the only reason you would have had to come down is you thought me and the girl were about to go into the bathroom, right? And tried to stop it before it happened, right? You knew she would go. You knew I could convince her to go, right? You knew I could talk her into it. Or did I already the night before? Were we together an hour last night, right? See, you're the one acting like you gotta stop me from coming into your store, right? Too late. And how you gonna stop me? Bring me her or another woman, right? The night before. And let me be with her the night before. Sure. To stop me from being with her during the day. Is that what you're trying to do? Right? Or a different woman. There was an already pregnant woman there to begin with. And like I said, you mess with me, and I can get all the women pregnant if they see me resurrect, right? I ain't gotta touch him. Jesus didn't touch anybody either, did he? So you normally hang out in Samaria for 2 days after meeting a hot woman at the well, who's kind of attached but also unattached. Why would you hang out an extra 2 days with her too, right? Well, it didn't say they didn't. She's the reason he stayed. Wouldn't you stay with a woman for 2 days if you thought she was hot? And see, Jacob thought he was with Leah first, and was calling her Rachel all night, right? But then he had to serve 7 more years for Rachel, even though he had her to wife, right? But oddly, she probably didn't get pregnant until after the 7 years because he agreed to the terms, right? Well, by shooting me, you agreed to the terms of the resurrection of the dead, right? Including the ability to impregnate a woman asexually without sex, right? As Jesus was put in the Virgin Mary without sex, right? If you don't believe it then, you better believe it now. You better believe it now. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but if the girl had a baby without sex, simply because you shot me and I resurrected, right? You're too late. Right? And if you shot me 3 times, the first 3 children will be mine. Right? Didn't I tell you that too? The 3rd time? Now what? Do you know when you're in checkmate? Do you know when you're in checkmate? If you don't, we can still play the game. I'm not trying to get every woman pregnant, but if you shoot me in cold blood, that'll change the playing field. And I resurrect. Let's talk the real deal now, motherfucker. Excuse my French there, YouTube. But this dude's crazier than a motherfucker. He wants to shoot a man in cold blood for having sex with a underage girl, right? So I had sex with the underage girl. You shoot me like I did, I did. And you reap what you sow. If you sow to the flesh, you too of the flesh reap corruption yourself. If you sow to the spirit, you reap what? The spirit. And resurrect like Jesus. Don't you get it? Higher than a motherfucker? I know. Nicki Minaj said, quote, unquote. I'm quoting her now. And all my videos are not for kids, right? All of them, right? And I explain why someone can say it, right? You can say empath if someone's doing something sicker than having sex with their mother. And if she's your daughter, fool, right? She can be with any man she chooses, right? But if you shoot me like we were together, right? Otherwise, you can't shoot me in cold blood into your soul, right? Just for getting a nail job, right? And if you do, and you're trying to punish me for sleeping with her, we slept together, right? Whatever your damn Vietnamese name is, right? Vietnamese motherfucker going to hell with Satan. Or are you a daughter fucker? Would you fuck your own daughter to prevent me from fucking her, right? Because that's worse fornication than having sex with a woman who's not your daughter, right? Don't you know that? How do you know we did something or not unless you're watching us through the cameras, right? And all I can do is ask her to go to the bathroom and you try to shoot me before you get to the bathroom, right? And come running down the stairs or something. I know what you did. I told you I always did. I told you I always did. And that punishment fits the crime and the accusation. If she lied about her age and said she was 37 and was really 15, you knew that and let her work in the store anyway. The punishment fits your crime too. If you want to punish me for a crime I didn't commit, like I committed it, I committed it. And you're going to burn in hell, Michelle, with you if you don't repent either. And let you shoot me in cold blood. I don't care if it's your store or not. It's a store. You're not buying it. You're not going to ever own it. You're renting it. You're just a lease. Who has to go to a leaseor. Your debt will not be paid if you don't forgive others' debts. If you forgive others' debts, yours will be forgiven. Condemn and you're condemned, Jesus said. He didn't stutter. It's Peter and the apostles who can't accept that, right? And they're going to wind up in hell too. That's why he can't save you. If you condemn. You're not the judge anymore. Any sin, even blasphemy of the Holy Ghost, but you don't know what the hell that is, right? You all could be blaspheming the Holy Ghost unknowingly. I know, yeah. Well, did she get pregnant 3 times? Since I last saw her. It's been over 3 years. It's been over 3 years. You know, you never touched her. No, I touched her, but she touched me, right? hmm Well, that would be my ex-wife actually attacked me, right? Instead of me falling from the building, right? If I got off the base. But I didn't. I don't go after children. Usually their biological parents are supposed to protect them from me, right? Not let the child wake you up in the middle of the night where you don't even know what the hell's going on. And might even for a few seconds think you're dreaming even, right? That does give me an excuse. I know it does. Like it or not, right? It gives me an alibi. I wasn't the only one who could have put her up to it, right? If mom did or biological dad did or granddad did, right? It just wasn't me. It wasn't my idea. I try to stay away from children usually. That's why you're on the couch, right? She has to physically walk in there to you. I told you that's not my sin, right? That's someone else's sin, and it will always be someone else's sin, right? You just have to deal with it. If she does, and the only thing you can do is make sure she don't have to do anything biologically, right? If you did that and you're doing your job as a step parent, right? That's why you're gonna burn in hell. You think you won't? You won't know till you die of natural causes, even if you live longer than me. I told you that before, right? It's not the length of life you live if you're gonna die, right? When you die, that's when you're judged, right? You will stand before the judgment seat of Christ first, and then the great white throne judgment, right? At the end, where everyone's resurrected, the just and the unjust alike, right? Or are you creating a loop by sinning, right? An ever ending loop, right? You're ever here, but ever not here, too. You don't even remember, right? Your last life, right? Because it was 20,000 years ago. That's the equivalent of 3 weeks to God, right? With what's called a seventh day rest period, right? In between each week. 6 days at work, the seventh day at rested. The only day we could have sinned in is the seventh day, right? But the goddess has 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is 1 day, right? Ain't that the same forwards and backwards? If 1,000 years, if a day is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is as a day, that's what? 1,000 years, 1,000 years. Both ways. Period. Is 1,000 years for a week times 7 days. That's 7,000 years, fool. Die in your sin then. I don't care. You will. You're not going to last forever. You're a mortal man. You know I'm not. You know I'm not. If Jesus healed me like the Wolverine, I'm not like you. And I know it did, and you know it did. But see, that's the point. Just talking about it don't make something happen right. Normally. And I'm not trying to get every woman pregnant, just a few, maybe. The few you're acting like I want to sleep with. The few you're acting like I want to sleep with. Exactly who? Until you repent of the evil in your heart. It'll happen, right? I know what you did. You shot me as if, again, we had sex. And unless you came by the night before, we didn't. Well, do you think I'm telling you sarcastically, right? But you were making sure I was dead for 20 minutes, and then when you went up to call the police, I healed. And had to do it 3 times while she was doing my nails in between? Yes. Yes. You go to jail for that. I'm an innocent man then. I didn't have sex with her. Right? That don't mean God can't get her asexually pregnant by me. Oh no. As it did with Jesus and Mary and her have 3 sons of mine. Even if she's with another man. You either keep her a virgin or you make her a whore, right? You make her a whore, old man. Old evil father. When I want to marry a woman, right? The premarital sex is allowed. Read your damn Bible or you're full of crap. Like Satan is. You're the devil's spawn. Mr. Tein. If that's your real name, I don't know. I don't care. But he's not your God. He's a man. He's mortal. He's gonna die one day. And stay dead. They will bury your ass. And the worms will eat you, Mr. Tein. They will eat your corpse. And you will rot inside your shell. And burn in the lake of fire with Satan. And go down into the earth. The demons will carry you personally. Don't fear the Lord and depart from evil then, right? Don't bring me my wife. See what happens to you. Bye. Dead man walking.